Welcome to Hammering the Point.
Yeah, fucking figgity bitches.
The
Hello.
war boss, the commissar.
Are we actually-
Sorry I ruined it.
Actually, he ruined it because he had to talk over my introduction. So.
That's what I'm saying. That would have made a great skit.
Nope, it's not a skit. It's real life. It's Nerf or nothing. Daughters of the Emperor. Any whoosies. Welcome all. This is Hammering the Point, the podcast, with your hosts, the commissar.
I'm your host, Warboss Toon Smasher, and today with us, we even have a guest. We don't have the Electro Priest Jack with us today, though, but instead,
He died.
we have...
Which bitch?
Oh! And welcome to our episode of... This is episode 11, the Adepta Sororitas, Sisters of Battle, Nuns with Guns, and whatever the fuck else you want to call them.
Woo!
So, you want to dive into their history first, or... Because they have a pretty wacky, facky history behind them, so...
They do have kind of a pretty, interesting...
Our story for the history of the Sisters of Battle starts all the way back to the 36th millennium, where they were colloquially named the Daughters of the Emperor. They were based in the San Leon world, and this cult was a...
ecclesiarchy, right?
Yes, they were. I was getting to that. But they were actually probably started a little sooner than that in the Saint Sabbat worlds, specifically due to Saint Sabbat, one of the first imperial saints we've ever had. I'm a big fan of the Sabbat Crusades, so good for them. But ultimately, they were just a small cult of just a lot of women who considered themselves the daughters of the Emperor, up until a specific High Lord named Goat Vandire came onto the scene, and he, in a sense, just kind of manipulated them into being his private army, and
which is essentially what gave them their design of what they have of their armor right now.
Yeah, pretty much, because of the fact that they were backed by a High Lord. They had the ability to have their own armor and everything. And he ended up renaming them the Brides of the Emperor, actually. Just because...
He wanted to marry his daughters.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean...
I imagine there was probably some weird stuff going on with, with him and the daughters of the Emperor, or the brides. Because
to make it blunt, it's essentially just a perverted ass old man making his own little harem. If you really want to get
kind of there's no lore in saying that he was hiding the salami with some of these chicks, which is nice. I'm glad they didn't go with that route.
I am too, but it's just it gives certain stories. It just gives that feeling. You're like,
well, yeah. I mean, it's
okay.
I imagine there was probably some not okay stuff going on.
That's the
because
fun
it's
part.
40K.
Exactly.
That's the fun part. They insinuate it's that way. You just have to guess.
Yeah, pretty much. But so Van Dyer, he started basically going off the deep end. He was already off the deep end, but he went deeper somehow. And he ended up kind of overthrowing the other High Lords.
Because he basically wanted to make himself his own martyr, so that way he could be top dog.
Well, yeah, he wanted to be the big... He wanted to be King Fuck of Shit Mountain.
And his own little personal army.
Yeah, pretty much. And
40K is full of them.
He ended up basically doing a lot of fucked up shit, and he ended up taking over Terra for a bit, up until the Custodes and a few other Space Marine chapters showed up, and they're like, "Hey, you're done," and he's like, "Ayo, fuck you," and they got into a full-on war with each other on Terra. And the Sisters of Battle were so damn good at, warfare that they were actually holding off the Custodes, which is a fucking big deal, because the Custodes are considered some of the best warriors in 40K.
Yeah, they're the Emperor's guardians.
Yeah, so they...
off dog boys.
Pretty much.
The eeky beakies.
And they also...
That was the first army I ever picked.
they...
No, that was the Drukari. We're talking
Pretty
Custodes.
Yeah, Custodes are the
They're
Golden Boys.
Oh, yep, my bad.
But they managed to hold back them, but then a specific Adeptus Custodes dude kind of like approached them, specifically their leader, which is Alik Dominica, which she was the leader, and he managed to convince her to like, hey, come over here, like get that booty over here. And he ended up taking her and like 3 of her like right hand women, I guess left hand, right hand, whatever, to the Golden Throne itself. And whatever happened in the Golden Throne, because we don't know, they went in there, and then an hour later they came out, and she's like, okay, yeah, let's kill this dude. And she was the one who ultimately ended up killing Van Dyer. Because she was the one who can get the closest, and she ends up killing him. And then the guy who took over the place for Van Dyer is a guy named Sebastian Thor. And he was like so like fucking wigged out by the Sisters of Battle or the Adepta Sororitas that he was like, I want to keep them around because they're so good. But the other High Lords are like, actually, you can't have an actual army because you're the church of us. And he's like, well, the law says I can't have men under arms as an army. It says nothing about women. So that's how they ended up continuing to this day, is because of the fact that
loopholes.
It's a legal loophole. They managed to,
and it's a legal loophole that's also followed by religious like sacrilege that they go.
So, yeah.
Because the sisters, the reason why they get like the whole nuns with guns, quote unquote, is because of the high religious like thought process. Literally, how they run is as if like imagine the Catholic Church getting an army.
Yeah, well, because, the Catholic Church already has an army. It's a Vatican army.
I know, right? But, like, so with that, too, it's kind of, you know how, like, with the orcs, they say, you know, if you imagine it, they can get it. Well, the sisters kind of have their own thing with that, as in, since they believe with the Emperor so hard, that a lot of their weaponry and everything else, because you got a lot of them that are,
pious,
like like hospitalers and stuff, how they have such that high religious intent, like with their abilities going in, they have like a high success rate shot, stuff like that. I'm not explaining this the best right now. I'm really not. I apologize to all the listeners here.
Either way, they like to keep Daddy happy and make sure he's protected.
Essentially, yeah. But
yeah. So, fun fact, actually, the Hospitallers, specifically the Order, existed before the brides of the Emperor or the daughters of the Emperor. Actually, they were just a group of they were just a group of religious women who wanted to heal, and like there's 4 specific, like the Sisters of Battle is broken up into 4 specific groups.
Actually, if you really want to get to it, there's 6.
Yeah,
because
we're not talking about the orders.
Actually, if we're going, the orders, you have 3 from the Sanctorum of the Seventh, which has the Bloody Rose, our Martyred Lady, and the Valorous Heart, and then the actual Terra bound for that is like the Ebon Chalice, the Sacred Rose, and then the Argent Shroud.
Semantics.
Yep. But anyways, the one we're currently talking about is actually the Order Militia, which is what I was going to go at. Not the specific orders that they have broken up into. I'm talking about their official orders.
Oh, okay,
that make
gotcha.
up each of them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, cracker. But yeah, no. So, yeah. Now I've lost my train of thought because I had to explain this.
I'm always happy to crash the train of thought. Because the first 4 orders were the Ebon Chalice, Valorous Heart, Fiery Heart, and Argent Shroud. And then after the Ecclesiarch Decius VI founded 2 more orders of miscellaneous in honor of the remaining 2 saints who accompanied Alicia Dominica to the Golden Throne. That's right. That's after that is when it became Order of the Bloody Rose in honor of Sister Mina, and then Order of the Sacred Rose in honor of Sister Arabella.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm thinking of something else. Anyways, there are... Back to my point. There's the militant,
The hammering the point.
and then there's the hospitallers, which is a completely different other thing. Because I'm talking about like how they are structured, not the orders themselves that have their own beliefs and stuff like that. And then there is a supply chain one, which I can't remember. There'll probably be somebody in the comments that will tell us. And then there is specifically a scribe order that specifically deals with protecting and cleaning and just kind of upkeep of holy relics and holy texts. Those are the orders I'm talking about. I just can't for the life of me remember. And then they were all segmented into their own, like, chapters, quote unquote, that, like, they all follow a different saint or, like, a specific thing.
Yeah,
So,
just like
yeah.
the ones I
Yep.
labeled off just a
And we all
second
know the
ago.
best one is the Saint Sabbat ones. The rest are okay at best. I mean, the Bloody Roses are okay, but that's besides the point.
Let's say I actually got a sister's kit the other day, and I painted the lead squad Order of the Bloody Rose, and then the rest of them I have painted of the Order of Our Martyred Lady.
Yep.
They're actually
And
pretty fun to do.
Whoosies.
I do like their outfits, honestly, and their armor.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of
The
the
cool
Sisters
thing
of
too
Battle.
with the Sisters armor as well is because like the Sisters of Battle, they don't fuck around when it comes to fighting. They get in there, they fuck some shit
Yep.
up,
And
their armor like it's
Taking
not
time
like
to go home and
power armor. It's not, but
It is-
like,
it's power armor.
It is classified as power
yeah,
armor. Okay.
it's just human sized power armor. That's why they have the same backpacks as the Adepta Sororitas. Mm-hmm. That's their power bank. It's basically just a sized down version for specifically the
See, I
Sisters
couldn't
of
remember
Battle.
if it was like actual power armor.
It
if
is,
they
yeah.
had like
they
another
can
name or
technically
something.
in that armor. They're technically strong enough to. They're not as strong enough as Space Marines, but they're strong enough to probably rip somebody in half in that armor.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
I
definitely
wouldn't
could. Because
doubt
I mean, they still fire bolters on
Well, yeah,
guns like
that's why they
everything.
can do that is because of the fact.
And why
Exactly.
they were wanted so badly, too, I assume.
Yeah.
Because when they proved to be like following in with the Saint and everything, and then proven kind of like in battle, they improved on all their armor to make what it is now. Because that was after the full ecclesiarchy, right?
Yeah, pretty much like the ecclesiarchy has been there for a while, and since the Sisters of Battle managed to win out due to a loophole, they basically
Gotta love loopholes, man.
Yeah,
Right,
and it's
honestly.
funny because like the Sisters of Battle, they're so good at fighting demons because of the fact that they believe so hard in the fact that their guns will hurt, like demons and stuff like that. There's a book
Yeah, that's
that
good.
was Apocalypse. It's actually not that bad of a book. It follows it's one of the newer ones because it follows a Primus Marine who's a part of the Imperial Fists who are sent to protect a shrine world, and one of the Sisters of Battle covens are there, and they are going up against light spoilers, but they're going up against the Word Bearers. And the Word Bearer is like, I hate fighting the sisters because of how effective they are against our demons, because of the fact that they're like, yeah, no.
That heavy religious belief
Yeah,
is there.
and they
so
and it
believe
also
that it's
helps the
holy
fact that they
bullets.
wrap their guns in Holy Scripture, their weapons in Holy Scripture, they cover themselves in Holy Scripture. So, like, it's just
Essentially,
one of those.
imagine kind of like Van Halen. Oh my fucking god.
Not quite.
You want to give that another go at?
Oh, he's trying. Now he's just laughing. But
I am, but I screwed myself over so bad.
did you forget your train of thought?
No, I can't remember the fucking name now.
Did you
Give me
understand what
context.
you're talking about?
The like vampire hunter.
Van Helsing?
Yes, thank you. Fuck. Hell, Jesus Christ. Yes, like Van Helsing. Think like that kind of style. Because you know how they have like the vampire hunter with the garlic running and like,
Yeah.
the belief and shit. You know, like imagine that, but like jacked up.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. It-
Yeah, brother, get jacked.
Brother.
cranking that hog. Anywho's.
Crank with respect, brothers.
But yeah, no. There was. But the sisters battle. Getting back onto.
Get
topic.
back on track.
Sisters battle only exists to this day due to the fact that like legal loophole naturally,
They haven't changed the law.
pretty much. And then like
Well, no, once they proved like how effective they are, they were like, we should probably keep them around.
Well, not really, because they were
like
like,
the base.
no matter how effective they were, they're like, you're a church and you're not allowed to have military. And like all the other high lords were like, yeah, we need to get rid of them. And he just managed to be like, no, you said there will be no man under arms. They're not men. So that's exactly how it boiled down to, is he just used the legal loophole to get them to continue. And that's fucking it. Which is hilarious.
Because I love their immolators.
Yeah. And then
Literally a cathedral on a tank.
they continue,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
they started segmenting off because of a specific event that would happen with the sisters. Is it would often they would become so pious and just so fervent in the emperor's belief that they would develop themselves basically into living saints. And living saints are these powerful living emperor demons, basically. They're greater demons of the emperor is the best way I could describe it. And they would do such great acts that there would be segmentives of the Sisters of Battle that would follow that specific sister for the rest of their lives. And as the war boss said, there have been the Ebon Chalice, the Victorious Heart,
Valorous Heart.
yep, and then there's the Fiery Heart, and then there's the Argent Shroud. All of those were started by a specific sister, and they all managed to achieve sainthood, and they all worship a specific item that saint carries. So the first one was the Ebon Chalice, and she had a chalice that was made of ebony. So that's why the heart, it was probably a
Literally
heart.
explains itself.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's how it like kind of broke down. And then there was a newer one, which was the Bloody Rose. Then there was the Sacred Rose. I don't know.
Yeah, because that was the one I was saying earlier that followed like the Sister Mina and the Sacred. So Sacred Rose is under the Sister Arabella, and then the Order of the Bloody Rose is under the Sister Mina. But the reason why those two orders came about was because when back in like, I think here it says in 878, of course, millennia. There's an Ecclesiarch Decius the Sixth founded two more of it with the in honor of the remaining two saints who accompanied him back to the Golden Throne for the Alicia Dominica.
Haha. And fun fact, I actually have a Bloody Rose sister figurine that's sitting above my bed.
You do.
Yep. It was the only McFarlane figurine I bought.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't remember seeing it.
It's I'll send you a photo when I get home. But my
Two
personal
of my purity seals are actually sisters. That one facing right now is
Sister
actually
Fister.
the Mechanicum one. The one on my backpack on the other side of the mall is sisters.
Oh yeah. And then my personal favorite of all time is the Order of Our Martyred Lady, which is the Saint Sabbat group. And if you guys want, we can have like mini episodes of us going deeper into each order, but we're just kind of giving it a big overview on the faction.
Because in each order, no matter what, they have the same kind of like type of forces and everything.
Pretty much.
So everyone is led by a commanding officer that's known as a canoness. And your canoness she's literally a commanding officer. So she comes in, takes care of shit, takes care of the paperwork, but kind of orders in like what everyone's going to be doing. If they were to like go to war or something, she would be the one leading everybody.
Actually,
bring them into battle.
I hate to be the unactually guy, but it's an abbess that is the overall commander, the supreme commander of the Order Militant. Then it goes prioress. I can't say these words. Then there's Covenus. Then there's Covenus Superior, Preceptor, and Commander. Then there's just the Canuses. I don't know why they decided to say that 4 times. Then there's the Praeline, which is the lieutenant. Yeah,
who's the officers serving below the canoness.
Yep. Which are lieutenants. The legate, which is a legate.
The dogmata is a spiritual
legate
enforcer.
is it's a Roman. Technically, it's a Roman. Specifically, a medieval Roman rank, and it's basically just kind of means sergeant. I think.
Okay,
I'll probably get an actually from some Roman nerd, but whatever. Let's be honest here.
It is the internet.
The Germanic tribes are better than the Roman Empire. Ooh, he said it.
Ayo. But they also have like reliquant at arms, which they kind of see. They kind of oversee the relics and everything for all the sisters.
Yep.
And then of course you have your sister superior, which is just the actual like squad commanders.
Yep. Sergeant or a captain.
Yeah. And then the Celestians, who are like elites of the squads. And then of course you have the battle sisters, which they're in everyone because they're your standard infantry and all that. Dominions, who are like close combat infantry, which Dominions and the Sister Repentia are different.
Yeah, Dominions are sword and shield, so they're often the armored run. Repentas are the skimpily clad.
So most sisters are actually all put in power armor. The only ones that don't wear the armor are the Sister Repentias. And so with the Sisters Repentias, they are a part of the Sisters of Battle who they believe that they must atone for like prior sins and shit, and kind of just basically it's a whole thing of atonement. And that's why they don't wear the armor, and they literally come charging in with giant like eviscerator chain swords. Because they believe that, like, being vulnerable in battle and having that, like, full force, like, hey, this is me as a basic human being, just slaying shit, and that, like, high chance of death every time for them to die is just atonement.
Yeah, the closest historical thing that we have would be a flagellant, which are religious people who believe in self-mutilation.
Yep.
In a form of atonement for whatever sin they've done.
Right.
So yeah, that's
kind of like making sure they're always going to pay it back no matter what.
Pretty much, and like it could be from like really weird stuff. Like my eyes lingered too long on an enemy.
My ankles showed a little too much today.
Well, I mean. That would then nobody would ever leave the Repentia because of the fact that they're basically buck naked. They have like a little strip of clothing on their boobies, like, a little strip of clothing.
If they even miss a prayer for the Emperor, they'll go to the Sisters Repentia for shit like that.
Yeah,
so that's how religious they are. Is if they do even miss like a giant, because a lot of the times, of course, they start off everything with like a prayer for the Emperor, but they are constantly. I mean, I know everyone in the Imperium is like for the Emperor, but the sisters are of course like for the Emperor.
Oh yeah, and they're specifically they specifically like to do hymns when they're fighting, so they'll be singing religious hymns. While, being the...
Which, even with that singing, kind of funny, because with, like... So, you know how the orcs have their wog, and you can see, like, the green smoke and everything? With the sisters, if their hymns become, like, strong enough, and there's enough of them, enemies will actually sometimes see, like, a small, like, golden hue around them.
Yeah, and that's where the saints come from.
Yep.
But, yeah, no. They're flagellants... which is really interesting.
They fart?
So funny.
Which is funny because they also have, a bit off topic, but they also have autoflagellants, which work for the
They do.
Adeptus Mechanicus, which are basically just criminals that are like not necessarily brain dead, but they're forced into these like pain suits in a sense, and they're forced to fight. They often have their arms removed and everything and replaced with various different weapons.
Damn.
Well, it's actually kind of funny, too, because like the Adeptus Mechanicus also supply the war gear of the Adepta Sororitas as well.
Yep.
They've done that since the Age of Apostasy, because that's when Ecclesiarchy Gode Van Dyer and Fabricator General Headtrix, what I'm butchering the shit out of it. I'm probably going to get an actually as well. Signed the treaty known as the Illuminat. Every piece of war gear supplied to them comes from either like the Covenant Prioris on Terra or the Government Sanctum on Ophelia 7.
Yep. But yeah, no. And then there is...
Oh yeah, they're also blessed by choirs of novelties and rites that can last for days or even weeks.
Oh yeah. It is...
Because their weapons are also dabbed in like sacred oils and shit. Because even like the cloths that are used to like polish the weapons and even the ammo is all sanctioned by like oils and cleansed cloths and everything.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
And that's why they're so damn good at killing daemons.
Yep.
But...
Fair. It's like if they just doused everything like in holy water.
Yeah, pretty much.
Each sister, there aren't... Well, it's kind of funny because, like, with the blessed and everything still being talked about, like, even every piece of sister's armor, whatever order that they end up going to, they have their armor blessed by, like, that thing. So that way, like, sanctions them for that order. Because even with that, too, like... A lot of the times, since the sisters did start off as like the healers and everything, if they get too wounded in battle to where they can't, provide for squads or anything, they'll still go back to like hospitallers and provide for like the medical stuff and care for all that. And then when they do that, I don't want to say they necessarily pass like down the armor, but
They
I know
do.
it's like
when you first join the sisters
because it gets
battle,
fully cleansed.
well, yeah, but when you first fully join the sisters, you don't like get your armor automatically. You have to work for it.
Yep.
Makes
So,
sense.
yeah,
Well, because not only is it coming from the Mechanicum, who they're going to be kind of some picky bitches anyway of sending off some specialty made armor, because that's just the Mechanicum being the Mechanicum.
Yeah.
But also they believe, like, since it is fully being blessed, you need to prove your worth for the Emperor.
Like prove your actual like devotion and faith.
well,
to
yeah,
the
it's
Emperor and
like
And of course the Order as well.
well, yeah.
Right.
There's also to drag real life semblance. I don't know exactly what they call, but they're like nuns in training. And like
Makes
you
sense.
become a nun in training, and then like once you're done with it, you have to like go through like I think a year of training before you can.
Because there's a full for the sisters, because there's like a whole trial.
You're
and
pretty much like
everything.
raised. They take little girls, and then you're raised in the sisterhood. So you don't get to pick which saint you want. It's whatever coven of I shouldn't say coven, whatever order of sisters that are near you, and you're just like a little girl, and they're like. Your family's dead. No, we're not. Yes, they are.
Hey, come over here.
take
You're
it.
gonna
Pretty
be a
much,
fighter
and then,
or a
like-
healer. Go on.
Pretty much. And, like, at the end of the day, like, they're all trained, and, like, whatever they specifically show.
Because, like, that's kind of how they do start off. Because, like, I know the orders kind of pick off, like, a lot of the children and everything
Yeah.
and bring them in. Because most of them are still, like, brought up under the praise of the Emperor. And then, like, I know, like, whatever order kind of pick them up, they'll show them that. But also the sisters are willing to make sure that everyone kind of gets out to where they, like, do very well. So some of the orders... Because I know a lot of the sisters, like, they'll start off with one order, and then they'll go to another one, just...
Well, yeah, but that's,
based
like,
on their battle
exceedingly
presence and
rare.
everything.
Because of the fact that since they all have the same units, they might just end up being like, you're not a very good fighter, so like hospitaller, or you can go into the Hoggot, which is like the information, or the fabulous. I found them. I know we're whapping it back.
Ew.
Or the dialogist. These are all so hard for me to pronounce because it's Latin and I don't speak Latin.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like pretty much like it's pretty rare for them to be like, oh well, oh you have a shiny sister, I want that, so let's trade. This isn't Pokemon. So yeah, like a lot of it is just like
Millennium football.
if that specific order finds you, you stay with that order unless like you're either dead or your entire unit of that order is dead and there's no way for you to get back, so another order picks you up. But even then, that other order will try its best to get you back to your starting order, because of the fact that surprisingly a lot of them do believe that they believe similar stuff, but they also at the same time are like, well, my order is better because my saint is slightly better than yours, kind of stuff. Naturally, it's like the entire
My
Imperium.
Primarch's still alive.
Well, pretty much, it's
Ooh, sick burn.
there's just a lot of like, you know, like, I don't want to say backbiting, but like there are like situations where like the
No,
sisters
but sometimes they have
will
such a
be-
great like step forward that they'll end up having that, like, you know,
Yeah.
one step forward, two steps back in terms
Well, yeah,
of biology and shit.
but we should cover the rest of the units, at least what left. There is the Seraphim, which are jump pack.
Oh yeah,
Specifically,
the big melee jump pack.
that's the Zeraphs,
Oh, that's the Seraphims. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
there's
the Seraphims are the
Seraphim
melee
and
ones.
And Zephyr.
and then Seraphim. It's the Zeppelins and the Seraphims. Seraphims are biblical angels. They're the cool ones.
I cannot speak today.
But you know, that's the cool thing about them. So yeah, they have a range of troops that all kind of like fit their specific niches. So they're a pretty decent all-around army. They even have their own tanks. They even actually have their own dreadnoughts, which is kind of cool.
Those are the Paragon war suits.
Those are
aren't
the
they?
penitent engines. And the penitent engines are like the Sisters Repenta, but on crack. So they
gotcha.
pick up
Oh
a
no,
sister.
the war suits. Sorry, this is just me reading because I said it.
So
Let's
the
go continue.
penitent's engine are, if you really did fuck up, like this is like saved for like the sisters who actually did something that's worthy of like,
Well, yeah,
you
that
know,
would be like
punishment.
elites, sister superior, shit like that.
So like no, like anybody could get attached to this. It like this is saved specifically for actual like legitimate like oopsie doopsies.
I'm gonna actually look at porn.
Kind of. So like the sisters can be put into it. It also can be piloted by heretics and great criminals.
Heresy.
And like these are like people who are like, I did something bad and I want to repent for it. So they put them inside the penitent engine, and it's a lot like a dreadnought, but you don't get your limbs removed. You are put into it. Pain goads and drugs and other things like get pumped into you, so you're in like horrendous pain.
It's like
And
the
like
poor
it kind of like puts
Kriegsman
you
horses.
into like a horrendous killing mood, and they send them out in the front of their army. And like they're equipped with melee weapons and flamethrowers, and that's it. They're completely exposed, so they're usually just wearing undies, and they're attached to it in the front, which means that like pretty much like there's really no like, hey, if you survive, you can like, if you survive a specific time, then they might let you out. But most of the time, once you're in it, you're gonna win it.
Yeah.
Fair.
It is very
That's right.
easy peasy, squeeze the lemon.
Peachy peachy.
God fucking damn it.
That's a reference for anybody who knows horrible histories. So yeah, that's basically that's the penitent engine, and it is hella awesome.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's terrifying because, yep. Yeah, you're literally strapped straight into the front.
Yep.
Damn.
In the Apocalypse book I was talking about with the Sisters of Battle and the Imperial
it's also
Fists,
like the
there's actually a
Mortif-
penitent engine that shows up in it,
Oh,
and
really?
it messes up a few word bearers.
Oh, the Mortifier is the Sisters Repentia who have
Yep.
committed the ultimate sin, fleeing from battle.
Yep. Yep. The mortifiers are piloted by Sisters who Rebenta, who committed the ultimate sin of fleeing from battle, which is this great act of evil cannot be forgiven, and as a punishment they are given a cruel fate of piloting a mortifactor engine based on the same mechanics and chassis as a penitent engine. The mortar fire bears an additional neuroagonizer array that I can't say that word. Enhances, basically it amplifies the pilot's self-loathing. Metallic bolts
So
are
it
driven
makes them
into
super
the
depressed
bones of the sister, and she cannot move or even scream for death because they put a hood over her face, and it prevents her from hearing any words of Penty that she is spoken as in her presence. They're often placed in the front lines and driven into a battle frenzy due to their intense suffering. So yeah, they just like it's a torture death throne. That's the best way to describe the penitent.
It's a moving Iron Maiden.
Pretty much. So
Damn, that's intense.
only for them. And I guess for anybody who's like has to watch the procedure, but like at that point, that's like a normal Tuesday for you.
Yeah, just kind of like, yep. I wonder what we're having for lunch today.
Sister Dominique Beek, she ran away. She did an oopsie doopsie. Put her in the torture death throne.
Yep. This is literally how it goes.
That'll teach her.
Teach you to run.
But yeah,
That's almost worse than a commissar just shooting you.
I mean, I would rather be shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, I wouldn't want to live through that.
But you won't
Basically
because
just
it's a
become a
torture
death
death
weapon.
throne.
Yep.
Somebody's dying, whether it's you or somebody else. But yeah, no.
Both is good, apparently.
That's pretty awesome that they do that to each other. Very cool. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Would
Gold
smoke
star.
again.
But then they're also the Paragon warsuits, which is basically like their dreadnoughts, but without the torture, pain, and death
And
aspect.
all the misery.
They're actually closer to the not Imperial Knights, the baby carriers that the Grey Knights have. Everybody
Yeah,
knows what
because
I'm
it's
talking
still an
about.
armored walker.
Pretty much, it's just like instead of like you being in a compartment, you're like it attaches to your legs and arms. It's like the robot suit from Aliens.
Yeah.
That would be the quickest way to describe it.
It would, because those are given to like giant elite Celestians.
Yeah, pretty
My
much.
first thought was Peridot with her limb enhancers.
Yeah, kind of in a
Yeah.
sense, but it's not a full body enhancement.
No,
For at least
just-
with Peridot.
Yeah.
Then there's the Rhinos, which Rhinos are troop transports. Space Marines use those. They're just
the
basically
Rhino
tanks.
is one of the biggest.
Tank.
You're thinking of the Land Raider. It's not that big. Rhinos are just tiny little transports, comparatively.
Oh no, I got stuck reading. I was just say rhinos are like the big, most like used. Not, God, what's the fucking word I'm looking for?
They're troop transports.
They are troop transport, but like universal in a lot of the armies for the Imperium.
For Sisters
for
of Battle
transporting.
and the 40K, no, not 40K, and the Space Marines. Imperial Guardsmen use Chimeras.
Oh, that's right. They do use the Chimeras.
Yeah. Then there's the Repressor. He just flows right back into it. Which is basically just a variant of the Rhino that extends its transportation compartment and adding more slits for firing. That's like the only difference between. Then there's the Exorcist.
Which the Exorcist is actually the oldest vehicle in service to the Adepta Sororitas.
Yeah.
Because they were also produced in the Age of Apostasy on Mars. Which, of course, I think that's like Praeris or something like that. Pattern still survived or whatever. So they're
Yeah.
highly venerated. Their machine spirits were also very temperamental and required constant like work and prayer. Because they regarded each vehicle as like a work of art. Because a lot of those have like kind of a cathedral style stuff on top of them.
Oh, I bet.
Because they also
Aren't those the ones
provide
with the missile
the
tubes?
missile tank? Yeah,
that look
'cause
like
they fulfill the role of their long range support for the Sisters of Battle.
artillery.
Yeah, because the Exorcist launcher, because it's like regarded as ancient like ancient arcane technology, only like understood by tech priests, essentially. That's why they require a lot of like. That's why they consider the machine spirit so temperamental. Because the missiles themselves are armor piercing, of course, but like armor piercing explosives capable of annihilating other enemy tanks, giant squads, and everything.
And
of course,
it's all blessed.
Exactly. But even with how, since they are blessed, since the Exorcist is like the oldest vehicle that they've used, sometimes the launcher actually malfunctions.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Because they also use conflagration rockets. It's like explosive, like incendiary kind of shells.
Make
Then,
you go boom.
It does go boom.
then there's the Castigator battle tank, which is basically like their version of the Liam Russ battle tank. Actually, it's more like closer probably to the Predator battle tank, which is the Space Marine version. It's just a slightly more amped up version. It's built on a chassis of a Rhino, so it's your run of the mill tank, but it's blessed naturally.
The Predator is actually the blue tank that I had kit bashed of my orcs over there. Behind all the red gobos.
And then they have the last of their weapons, which is the Immolator. Immolator. It's basically a chem. The closest thing that would exist would be a ball predator or a chem wolf for the Imperial Guards. They are flamethrower tanks. They just go around and they light everything on fire.
Oh yeah, they are armed with twin-linked heavy flamers, and like they do have like heavy bolters and stuff too. But they also will replace those with like multi-meltas.
Yeah, so they're basically just.
That sounds fun as fuck.
Yeah, they're basically ball predators because the Blood Angels have specifically a tank that is. Just has a heavy flamethrower in the front, and it's specifically called a ball predator, which I actually own one because I used to play.
See that.
I'll show you.
You have two, don't you?
No, I only have one. I only had one tank for my Space Marine army. That's not a tank. You're pointing at a Rhino.
You're a Rhino.
Oh yeah, that was just a Rhino.
Yeah.
Huh? Where did that? Where did I get that extra cannon from then?
I probably gave it to you because I turned mine into a ball predator, or it was probably a cannon from one of my Imperial Guards tanks. So yeah, that was the vehicles, specifically the ground vehicles of the Sisters of Battle, and then they have your basic aircrafts are Thunderhawks, Lightning Strikes, and Avenging Fighters, which are all just like your standard Imperial flying things.
Basically, yeah, they just basically went, hey, we want some flyers too.
Pretty much, like they don't have any specialty named ones like they do with specifically other factions. They just use what the Imperial Guards and the Space Marines use.
They
Specifically, the light.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, pretty much. The Lightning Strike fighters are your normal fighters that the Imperial Guards have, and the Thunderhawks are troop transports / fighters that the Space Marines have. So there's really nothing like
super grand about any
pretty
of those.
much. So yeah, we're gonna yap. We're gonna yap about some noticeable characters within the Sisters of Battle, specifically the
Notice
living
me, senpai.
saints.
Yappity yap.
Specifically, so the living saints are saints who are living. All right, I'm glad you guys liked this episode. We will we'll end it there.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been Hammering the Point podcast.
No.
Go drink some water.
Email us at hammeringthepointpodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, righty then. So, the living saints, they are the embodiment of just the Emperor's golden light. They are supposedly made to powered by the Emperor himself, supposedly. But,
Allegedly.
like, it's pretty much just like when a sister believes, and it's not just has to be the sisters themselves specifically. It's pretty much anybody who like believes so hard that like their like holiness kind of bursts out and they become living saints. And they're usually often depicted as angels. So they have big wings. They usually often might have a burning aquila behind them. An aquila is a two-headed bird. So that's like what they often look like. Some of the noticeable examples of saints are Saint Celestine and Saint Sabbat. Sabbat is my favorite saint of all time because she's actually pretty interesting because instead of a golden light, she had a green burning light.
Ooh.
So she had bright green burning wings.
That
She was
sounds
super cool. She specifically liberated the Sabbat worlds. So that's like her whole thing. She died due to 8 specific wounds that were dealt to her from Chaos, because Chaos has the 8-pointed star. And that's she was the one who spawned in our martyred lady. That's 2 of the known saints. There was also Saint Ganesh. I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Ganache.
Gosh.
But we might have to have Warboss read some of these names because I'm not very good at Latin names.
See, I remember like Saint Alicia Dominica because she was the one that, of course, killed off
Van Dyer.
Van Dyer. Yeah, duh. Because I actually have right here what the words spoken in Van Dyer before she killed him. You have committed the ultimate heresy. Not only have you turned your back on the Emperor and stepped from his light, you have profaned his name and almost destroyed everything he has striven to build. You have perverted and twisted the path he has laid for mankind to tread. As your own decrees have stated, there can be no mercy for such a criminal. I renounce your lordship. You walk in the darkness and cannot be allowed to live. Your sentence has been long overdue, and now it is time for you to die. It's time for you to die!
Also, I would like to make a correction. It was 9 fatal wounds that was dealt to Saint Sabbat, not 8.
Damn.
Yep.
Anytime I hear you say Saba, I just think of Saba.
Yeah, my cat.
The Subababa.
Oh my god, there are so many.
Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of
Yep.
Lots and lots of saints.
So,
I kind of have like a list of course, the founding saints here. Which
see the
Saint
saints
Mina's
wheel?
Order of the Bloody Rose, Saint Lucia of the Valerius Heart. I always want to say Sylvanas for this, but that's World of Warcraft. Saint Sylvana, which is the Order of the Ancient Shroud.
Sylvana.
Saint Catherine of the Fiery Heart, and then of course Arabella is the Sacred Rose, and then yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna try my best to list all of these names. I'm gonna butcher some of them, and I
Good luck.
apologize. So, this is the list of Imperial Saints. We have Marcus Arncalon, Argamon the Just.
Great start.
I probably fucked that up. Alexandria, Anise Armabella, Aren't the... Oh,
You want me to read that?
Yeah. We'll keep this in. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I'm almost kind of curious.
We might just have Witch read these. So
Arit the Lethkin. Arit the Lethkin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lethkint or Lethicont. Ariad.
You're a leprechaun.
You're a towel.
You're a towel.
Arian? Arian?
Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron. Is there an Aaron in the house? If there's two R's, it's Aaron.
No!
No!
We'll cut that out.
Or we just
Nope.
have a PSA of don't drink lava lamps.
Or two.
Do you mind if I just read some of these?
Yeah, take.
Aceline? Aceline? Aspira, Aster, Avidathol? Avidahol?
Avidazine.
A pita hall.
Avidazine? Basilius, Shy, Balronus? Balronus?
Shigaroth.
It's their names are hard.
They are.
You said these are Latin, right?
Yeah, they're something.
There's something, all right.
They're Latin and they're also
Kalu?
German, and then there's also like made up languages that are within the like, because like High Gothic itself, because like a lot of people speak Low Gothic and High Gothic
Oh, yeah.
in the Imperial worlds, and like we don't get the full experience of it because of the fact that like I hope that caught all of that, even though I was like being weird about it. But it's just one of those situations where like I think that like we have it translated to make sense to us
Yeah,
in kind of a situation when it comes to High Gothic and Low Gothic.
fair.
So
For the list, Branicus, Calgar Marnius, Calibre, Calipus, Calipline, or Capline,
there's a lot of saints, so we don't have to
Mr.
read all
Clean.
of them.
Okay.
But like we're just mostly doing this just sort of like just to show how many that there
Right.
have been.
I just passed by one that says Cognus, and I read it originally as Chungus.
Saint Chungus.
Saint Chungus.
Canonus Chungus. I require the fungus. Let's kill the orcs.
Ooh, Elena the Unshaken. That's cool. At this point, I'm just reading these because I like.
Yeah,
So
like
she wasn't shaken as a baby.
a lot of their yeah, you're funny. A lot of Warhammer names were like they range from like cringe to like cool, and it straddles that line so
They
finely
do.
at times. I'm just like, because
Like how when you were writing this all in, did you not sleep for like 3 days?
well, it's like Erebus, kind of like, but then like you get like a name like Dante. You're like, that's kind of cool, and then you get like on the opposite side Mephiston, and you're like,
What?
Yeah.
Mephiston my ass.
I actually just came across one Glurg.
Glurg.
Necromundan Gunk Saint.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, dude, I can't wait
shit.
for our Necromunda episode, dude. I'm
that's
gonna
that's gonna be a
ecstatic
good
with
one.
that one. We're definitely gonna have to bring back Witch for that one.
I'm so down.
It's especially going over like the clans that are in there and shit, dude.
So what is
Nec-
that?
Necromunda is
Side note, real quick here for all the listeners.
Necromunda is a hive world that is specifically known for its gang violence.
Wow.
I'm not even joking. Like that entire city is basically just gang war.
Kind of imagine like Cyberpunk, but in Warhammer.
Fair enough. I haven't played Cyberpunk.
We should play Cyberpunk. Like we should get the tabletop like RPG.
That would actually
and
be cool.
We are so off
I
topic.
do need to actually get Necromunda game though.
It's not bad. I didn't care much for the Necromunda game. It was kind of jank. Like it wasn't
Yeah?
like a fun kind of jank. It was just
Oh
kind of like a.
no!
Jake,
Well,
Jake.
What's
Or are you talking about Necromunda Hired Gun?
hired gun? Thank
Hired
you.
Gun was really fun. I liked it. It got a lot of hate, but it was really fun. But like the other Necromunda game where it's like kind of like it was like XCOM. It was okay.
Mhm.
I didn't care much for it, but I might have to give it another try.
Oh, we need to play Deathwing again.
But yeah, we went really off topic, but that's fine. But apparently gunk is a lethal substance within Necromunda, so she was a crack addict. Saint.
With a name like Glurg, I'm Saint Glurg.
Glug.
You want some drugs?
Oh,
Drugs.
okay, so we're gonna go off on a tangent with Glorg, the
Glurg.
gunk saint. Oh, that's suggestive. She was an imperial saint among those crusading gangs who pled themselves. They follow the saint's holy tenets, and there are a chance that she was an unsanctioned psyker. The gang is chosen as a conduit for the saint. They pledge themselves to the... But what's the tenets, though? Oh, right there. Use incendiary weapons to defeat thy enemies. It is resistant to burn. So, like, they cover themselves in crack, and then they become resistant to burn, and they like to burn people. So you learn something new every day. We have an
No.
imperial crack saint.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna light myself on fire, but I'm not gonna burn.
Pretty much. That's pretty
I have
hot.
the power of God and fire on my side.
You're not... Oh, there's one named Jerome the Pure.
Jerome.
Yep. He was martyred after fighting a chaos dude.
Coas.
A lot of these people are
Did.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. They be undead.
They have all been martyred. Because, like, that's the thing with the living saints is, like, they're pretty much living off of borrowed time in a sense. Because a lot of times they end up dying or, like, dying and then they achieve sainthood. And a lot of it is due to, like, martyristic acts. They're like, I'm going to protect my sister. And then, like, she's like, somersault into the bolter fire. And then she pops back up as an angel, and she's just like,
And then-
finger guns. And then those finger
Ka-chow.
guns blow people
You
up
Bob's your
because they're greater demons of the Emperor. So, yeah, like, a lot of them, like, sooner or later, they will die. Like, Saint Celestine, she's died a few times. But for some reason, she keeps coming back, which is an oddity for saints. Usually once they die, they die. But she's just like, nah, I have unfinished business to do. I have to kick.
Hoppity Coas is on my property.
Pretty much. And, like, she,
Yet.
during the fall of Cadia, Saint Celestine was just, like, whooping on chaos. She kept fighting greater demons and winning. And, like, she would die, and then she would pop back up in another battlefield. So, like, fighting demons and stuff like that. She actually rammed her sword through Abaddon's chest, and he survived, of course, because of plot armor.
Oh, that's right. She was the one to stab Abaddon.
Well, Abaddon has been stabbed multiple times,
Oh, he has.
and he keeps living, which is very...
Why
Very
don't
frustrating.
either of you die.
Okay, side note, I really hope... So, because he killed Yarrick, and the orcs love Yarrick, I really hope they get Godskull to fight Abaddon.
That would be cool. I would like that, but yeah, no.
Because, like, dude, like, they're both so just unkillable. It would just be pure, undeniable battle.
That would be pretty fucking cool.
I think that's how they should kill off Abaddon, personally. Is him just, like, dying to one of the orcs. I just think that would be kind of suiting for him. Just because, like, I don't know. I've already said my thing on the gameplay episode we had about how I feel about Abaddon.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know. I think we should just kind of move away from Abaddon at this point. I think we should get a new big bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of run his course a little bit.
He's just ineffective. Because, like, it took him 13 tries to finally actually make a mark. And I know that the Black Legion fans will come and try to actually me. I don't care. You can leave all your hate comments. I don't care. I'm not going to lose a bit of sleep over it. But, like, at the end of the day, he's just not a good commander.
No.
The only reason why he, like, managed to, like, get half the chaos together is because of the fact that, like, the chaos gods like him, and that's it.
Well,
It's the
Khorne's
only
essentially
reason-
just like, you can smash and kill. let's go.
Pretty much.
And he does like that
And,
job
like,
very well.
He's so bad that Karn the Betrayer almost killed him.
Yep.
And the only reason why he didn't die is because Korn is like, no, don't break my favorite toy. That's it.
No.
Yep.
Like, at that,
He's like, I don't have a fucking Primarch here to like play with.
pretty much. So, like, and that's why I just don't like him as a character, because, like, he gets his ass kicked, like, every time he's like, haha, I'm a big scary villain. And then a crinkly
I'm gonna
old
come in
Eldar
and do a quick spook.
comes up, and then, like, Uhtred, which is the oldest Eldar alive, one of them, he whooped the dog shit out of Abaddon. A 10th, such an old Eldar with crystal bones kicked the crap out of a 4-way god-powered space marine.
I mean, to be fair though, he did have high like psychic powers.
No excuse. He's powered by the four
I mean-
chaos gods.
Yeah,
It's pretty. It's pretty cringe.
I second that, but also like Uhtred was fucking powerful.
He is, but still, like, I mean, Sigismund, a 10,000-year-old space marine, whooped almost
Yeah.
killed Abaddon. Like, at this point, like, you guys are either glazing Abaddon. I like how this is supposed to be a Sisters of Battle. Now it's just a bitch fest about Abaddon. Yeah, Abaddon's a bad character, and all you and like any Chaos fan can like yell at us in the comments about it, but I don't care because I'm right. He's just not a good character. Accept that fact.
I do. Like I'm on the train with you on this because that's also he killed off Yarick and like
Maybe. We
I
don't technically know.
I know we don't technically know, but it's so insinuated
What if there's
that
a
like I mean it's fucking Warhammer. There's always a damn twist.
What a twist.
One of those. What a twist.
But yeah, no, we don't know fully yet. But there's a, even though, which is weird because like the orcs are keeping him alive. So like I don't know how they would kill him if the orcs are keeping him alive with their belief. Anyways,
See, that's why I think it would be kind of cool for like the orcs to kill off Abaddon.
Damn it.
And then like Yarick kind of appear and be like, oh, ha ha.
Out of Abaddon.
Right. It just pops out like a cake.
Yep.
Pops out like a cake.
But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, even though we did get a bit off topic towards the end.
A bit.
That's how it goes.
Hell, we literally hopped in the warp.
But you know, that's the Sisters of Battle. Feel free to ask us any questions in the comments or email us at hammeringthepoint gmail
Yep, at gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Hammering the Point podcast at gmail.com.
Yes. We'll try our best to get to it and all that stuff. And we're going to try our best to put up polls in the future for future episodes, just so you guys have some say in it and what we want to what you guys want us to cover and everything.
Decide next week's topic down below.
Yeah. The next episode we're going to be covering is the
Eldar and
the
Jukari.
sweaty bondage goblins,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jukari and the Eldar.
First army I ever played.
Yep. I remember that. That was when I was still playing the Space Marines,
Yup.
the Blood Angels.
The Space Marines.
And the other person was playing the Tyranids.
Yep. But we don't talk about that person because I don't remember his name.
That's not really
Thank you all
important.
for listening in, though.
Thank you guys for having
Give us-
me. This is fun.
Oh yeah, we look forward.
Thank you
to
for appearing, Witch. It was
Future
nice having
episodes.
you. Next time, we should have Electro Priest Jack joining us. But until then, like, comment, and subscribe, you fucking gits.
I can't afford this hobby. Don't
Have
get
a good
me into
night.
this.